Welcome back to Thrifty Whiskey. I'm Josh.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Eric.
And Joyce is going to tell you what's in our glass.
Today we're drinking Ancient Age. Ancient Age is a Kentucky straight bourbon from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. It comes in at 80 proof. We paid $10, which is a typical price for this bottle. As always, your prices may vary. Enjoy.
Thanks, Joyce. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Ooh, that's berry. That is berry.
Berries and cream.
What's wrong, Eric?
I was gonna say it's cinnamon.
I could get cinnamon.
See, I smelled it and I was like, cinnamon and honey.
No, I see that now.
It is like baklava.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the combination of scents.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting.
Can it be baklava but with berries in it?
I am getting some kind of berry. You're right.
See, now you say that, I'm making like a berry scone. It's sweet.
Yeah, it is
And-
sweet.
and-
It is sweet for sure.
Now you got me craving baklava.
I had baklava yesterday, which might taint my memory of scents.
Or you just have a really fresh memory to pull from.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that could be too.
That's probably...
Yeah, because I can even get like the pastry part of the baklava out of this.
I like this on the nose.
I'm getting like, right now I'm getting like an icing that has like cinnamon over top of it, like sprinkled on top. They remind me for a moment, the king cakes. Is that something you explain to our viewers what king cake is?
Yeah, you should.
Probably.
Okay.
Or explain to me, because I don't know.
Oh, okay. So king cake, I learned this because Joyce worked at a bakery that made king cakes here in Pittsburgh called Oakmont Bakery. Really well-known bakery in the area. Huge bakery. And they make these things called king cake, which is basically their New Year's cake, but it's meant for Mardi Gras, where they take a little baby Jesus and they hide it somewhere in the cake. And then whoever gets the piece with the baby Jesus is like, has good luck for the next year or something like that.
As soon as you said Mardi Gras, I was like, oh, okay.
It's the cake that goes with Mardi Gras. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed a memory refresh.
Ooh, that's syrupy. No, that's definitely frosting. I'm definitely like getting like a berry frosting with a little bit of berries. Ooh, that is sweet, but a little bit grainy. That is really good. Like a berry frosting.
I am loving this one.
Yeah. Almost medium long on the finish.
Yeah, I was going to go with like a medium finish.
Also fairly dry.
A little astringent, but not terribly.
Yeah.
Totally doable. Definitely makes me a little bit thirsty. Like I could go for a glass of water real quick. But the flavors are great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they mesh well. And now I'm going to have to find a place on the way home that sells baklava.
Don't add water.
Don't.
No.
It's okay with the water. Just everything's so much more mellow.
and bland. The oak spice.
Mellow's a nice way to put bland.
I don't want to, but we have to.
I'm telling you, if you're at home, don't put water in it.
No.
It kills the nose.
Yeah.
It kills it. Like
Yeah, as soon as I picked it up and was smelling it after adding water, I was like, oh, this is no good.
all I smell now is just rubbing alcohol. A sweet
a
rubbing.
sweet, I was gonna say,
a sweet rubbing alcohol.
Like, I still get the same oaky, sweet, some berry, some cream.
I'm not getting the frosting anymore or the cinnamon.
I'm not getting the cinnamon on either the nose or the palate anymore.
I'm just getting sweet. Like
The finish is less dry,
Yes.
Yes.
But it's also less there.
but it's also less there. Much
and it's
shorter.
quicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So challenged with this one
Yeah.
as far as what it is.
Yeah, I made my guesses, but I'm not confident in them.
Yeah, it's like my heart is saying one thing, but my mind is telling me it's not that. I'm going with my heart.
Letting it rest with the water a bit, starting to get the fruits again. It's still not as nice as when it's just fresh. I just feeling it's gonna be like our Jameson episode where like we got all these really nice things, then we look at the bottom, we're like, what?
Surprise.
Like I've never gotten
Crown
this.
Royal.
After it rests with the water, I'm really picking up strawberry aroma
Yeah.
out of it.
Once it rests with the water, it gets better.
It's still not as good as when it was without water.
No.
No, it's much better neat. And the water still kills the taste.
See, I think even resting with the water, the taste comes back, gets some of that berry. It gets some more character than that blandness that it was at first. But it goes down so hard and comes back up, but doesn't come all the way back up.
And I think the berry is more relevant after it rests because it's more relevant on the nose.
Makes sense.
It's on your mindset, so you taste it.
Are you ready to jump into some ratings then?
Yes.
I am.
I found this to be a perfect nose. I give it a 5.0. The cinnamon, the baklava, the honey, the berries, they just all meshed so well together. I found this nose to be fantastic and perfectly inviting. It just begged to be drank. Palate, I'm giving it a 5.0. I found it sweet, invitingly sweet, a little bit of brown sugar to mix with that baklava flavor and the berries flavors. The finish was the downfall on this one. It was medium, and I wish it was just a little bit longer. Those flavors were so good and so enticing, I just didn't want them to go away. I found the finish to be dry. It was a good dry. I'm knocking it down to a 4.0 on the finish.
Oh,
I shot it down.
I agree with you pretty much wholeheartedly. I gave it a 4.5 on the nose. There's just a smidge of room to improve. If I didn't have to go in halves, I would probably give this a 4.9. This is so close to a 5. It's so close, it's just not quite there. However, on the palate, I gave it a 5 because I thought the palate on this was fantastic prior to adding water. And then I agree with you, the finish was kind of not disappointing, it let you down a little bit. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay. I did not think that when I gave these ratings, I would be giving it the lowest ratings of all of us. I'm giving those a 4.
Ooh.
Ouch. Why do you hate this whiskey, Josh?
The nose was amazing. I even when I was just pouring it, I was trying to get whiffs of it. Like, oh, okay, this is gonna be pleasant. And then I smelled it. I was like, wow, that is so good. So the nose I gave it 4, and then the palate I gave it 4.5 because it followed through from the nose. It was delicious. I do think there was a little bit more room to be a little more oily. That being said, I gave the finish a 3.5. I think it was actually well timed for the palate not being as oily as I'd like it to be. If it was more oily and clingy on the palate, and then the finish being longer would be a good thing. But I think with it not having those oils and being a very viscous whiskey, not having a long finish, I think was actually good in this case. Which is weird for me to say because I usually am the person that's like, yeah, long finishes every time, always. Still, even amongst all of us, I think that's still an average of my average is a 4.
My average is slightly above a 4.
And your average is above a 4. I
gave it an overall 13. You gave it all overall 14.
I gave it overall 12 guesses. What is this?
It's a bourbon. That is the only thing I feel confident on this one, is it's bourbon.
My heart is saying bourbon, bourbon, bourbon. But it's just missing that Kentucky hug a little bit. So maybe it's not a Kentucky straight bourbon. My mind is telling me think of something else because of that.
My heart said Kentucky straight, and I was like, no, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, you want to finish?
I said it was an 86 proof bourbon. I think it's a $20 bottle, and I would pay $25.
I agree with the bourbon. We already discussed that. I'm going to 88 proof, 28 retail, and I would pay retail.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I legitimately have no idea what this is, but I never for once thought bourbon. Part of it is the color. I just didn't think the color was old, dark enough. Maybe it's a super young bourbon done really well, but the fruit notes, I didn't get the strong oak note. I didn't get that cherry note that I usually get with bourbons. I just didn't get my normal bourbon flavors.
The first thing I got on the palate was oak. That's what, that was the thing that drew me to bourbon.
Yeah. I'm going Irish. I'm going 80 proof. I didn't think that it was very proofy. I think it was flavorful. I just didn't think it was very proofy. I did say I think it's a $20 bottle, and I think I paid $24 for it. That being said, if it was a bourbon, I probably wouldn't pay that much for it. But at the same time, that's not appropriate. You shouldn't be thinking that way. I don't know.
No, but I would pay more for a Scotch than I would for a Canadian.
That's because of import prices.
Yeah. All right. So
I would pay more for a bourbon than I would for a Canadian.
All right. Well, let's find out
what it is.
Well, yeah, let's find out.
I need to know.
Let's find out what we're drinking. Today, we drank, Ancient Age.
It's a Kentucky bourbon.
The Kentucky straight bourbon, but it's super young.
It's super young and it has the word ancient in the title.
But it's not ancient age.
Yeah, ancient is young, is older.
Okay.
This is a 3-year-old bourbon from, according to the label, it says it's from the Ancient Age distillery. That being said, this is the Buffalo Trace mash bill. Their second mash bill. It's aged in new charred oak, and it's obviously from Buffalo Trace. So Buffalo Trace product. Who would have thunk that it would be good?
Knowing it's Buffalo Trace, I would have thought it was good.
Knowing almost nothing about whiskey, more than the average person, but far less than you guys, I would have known Buffalo Trace, it's gonna be good.
All right, so let's talk about price.
Yeah.
How much did you guys say you'd pay for us?
I said I would pay 25.
I'd said 28. It's got to be a lot cheaper than that.
Yep, because Buffalo Trace is a $26 bourbon when you can actually find it. This bottle, we paid $10 for it.
Holy crap.
I pay generally that look based on the internet about 11.
Again, I can get 2 bottles for what I would want to pay for 1.
I could get almost 3.
Okay, so know how like the previous times we've done super young bourbon, you guys said it was Irish, like Old Crow. Yeah, that's basically what happened for me this time.
Old Crow's great for an Irish.
Yeah, this is amazing for an Irish. Like I'm gonna start.
It's amazing for a bourbon.
It is amazing for a bourbon.
Okay, if you're looking, I think you need to qualify that to say like if you're looking for like really robust bourbon notes, you're not gonna get it. Personally,
I do agree with that. It's not super robust. The notes are there. That's why I knew it was a bourbon. But it wasn't so there that I thought it was Kentucky straight bourbon.
Right.
Like I said, it was just missing that little something.
What do you think Kentucky straight means?
I don't know. It has more something to it. I don't know anything. I'm the noob.
Okay, I assume you know what Kentucky means.
I do know where Kentucky is.
You know what Kentucky is, but do you know what?
I could point to it on a map.
Do you know what Kentucky means though?
That's from Kentucky.
And then straight means it's at least 2 years old. If there's no age statement on it though, it means it's at least 4 years old. But they do put an age statement on the back here, on the little tag here. Aged at least 36 months.
Wait, so if this is Kentucky straight bourbon, there's no age statement. It's 4 years.
It's at least 4 years.
But if it's Kentucky straight bourbon, it could be as young as 2.
I think it's 2.
Interesting.
Just to be straight. Real quick, diving into other ratings. Distiller gave this a 78. That being said, I think people who are going into this with a mindset of, oh, this is bourbon, are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But if you go into it not knowing what it is, I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Yes.
It's one of those things that maybe you should pour for your friends blind who like whiskey, not just bourbon, especially in a flight. Like I'm imagining a flight now of this Old Crow, a blind flight where you don't even know what's in the flight, of this Old Crow, and what was the other one that we did this with? The same thing happened.
That we were like, this isn't a bourbon?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
All right, so, but yeah, just doing like a blind where it's just like this Old Crow and just like other things that are bourbons technically, but don't taste like it when you're blind.
Or not even. Just bury it in a whiskey blind, and I think this would come out
doing well. Yeah.
Just because of the flavor profiles.
General tasting notes on the web. The nose, vanilla, corn, caramel, spice. Palate, vanilla, spice, corn, caramel, oak, thin. And then finish, short, citrus, bitter. Not a lot of notes that we said. Again, though, a lot of these people are doing this knowing it's a bourbon.
Knowing it's a bourbon.
And you look at the color on this. That is
a light bourbon.
That is super light. I'm not sure, like, you can tell, like, especially looking at the neck here, like, that is not a dark color.
You picked up the bag and immediately knew it was a bourbon because this is a bourbon bottle.
Yes. I will say I thought it was something else.
I remember the other bourbon that you were talking about now, the Black Eagle.
Yeah, it was the Black Eagle. You're right.
And the bottles are almost identical.
And we have more bottles that are this shape coming.
Yep.
More bourbon to come.
I mean, yeah, the bourbon is the biggest category of whiskey that is in our price range. So
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of bourbon to come.
Can I get this in PA?
No.
Okay.
Not legally.
Can I get it in Ohio?
Yes. You can get it in Ohio.
Guess I'm going to Ohio.
Even knowing now that's a bourbon, still getting fruit notes. It is moving to like a cherry. Honestly, it's starting to remind me of the Very Old Barton. Now that I know it's a bourbon.
Yeah.
Like the sugary cherry note. Mm-hmm. The fun dip note.
Cherry cake frosting.
All right, well, that's all we have to say today. If you like what we're doing, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this bottle when either you're doing it not blind or blind. If you have any fun stories about giving this to people blind, definitely let us know. Love to hear those kind of stories. Until next time, may the winds of fortune sail you.
May you sail a gentle sea.
May it always be the other guy who says,
"This drink's on me."
If you go to Ohio, pick me up a bottle of that.
It's actually like available in Ohio?
Yeah, like easily.
Weird. Okay.